Good morning, students. Good morning to everyone. How are you all? I hope you all are good. So, today in the morning, with fresh minds, we will learn about a new lesson which is given in our MCB. The name of the lesson is Alice and the Mouse. It is an extract which is taken from the story. I think we all are familiar with the famous story of a small girl named Alice in the Wonderland who accidentally goes into a magical world named Wonderland where she sees these beautiful amazing creatures where she have so many adventures. Now our lesson is a part of that great magical story. So before we discuss our lesson a bit further, I want you to show you a glimpse of the story. So just enjoy the story now.
Tia, I'm getting bored. Will you please stop reading and talk to me? Bored? How can you get bored, Tofu? Why don't you write a story of your own? I can't think up a story, Tia, especially when I'm so bored. Looks like you haven't heard of Alice in Wonderland. Alice in Wonderland. One sunny day, Alice was sitting next to her sister while she was reading. Her sister had been reading books all morning and Alice was very bored now. She thought for a while and decided to ask her sister to stop reading. She was about to do that when she saw a little white rabbit with pink eyes run past her. I am late! I have to hurry! I am late! Saying so, he ran into his rabbit hole. Alice was suddenly interested in this turn of events and she decided to follow the rabbit. She went to his rabbit hole and peered down it and Alice fell into it. She kept falling for what seemed like a very long time. Will I ever stop falling? What kind of a strange hole is this? At last she landed with a thud in a big empty room. The room had 3 doors of different sizes. She saw the rabbit outside the smallest door before it closed shut. But the door was very tiny, no bigger than Alice's new pencil back home. I must get on the other side of that door, but how will I do that? It is so small. Then Alice noticed a small table in the corner of the room. She went to it to find a small bottle of pink potion with the label "Drink Me" on it. Next to it was a small little key, the size of the smallest door's lock. I think this key belongs to that door. I wonder what this potion will do to me. Let me try. And so Alice took the key in one hand and drank the potion from the bottle. Suddenly, Alice could no longer see the top of the table. The empty bottle of the pink potion became too heavy for her and fell out of her hand. She was shrinking. shrinking stopped. Alice quickly ran to the door, opened it, and ran out. As in the most beautiful garden she had ever seen. But she could not enjoy it because she was so tiny. Flowers and plants were so big. Hearing her, "Oh, I wish I was bigger." Hearing her, the white rabbit came to her and ordered her rather rudely, "Go to my house and get my gloves and fan." Alice didn't know why the rabbit was so rude to her. Perhaps he didn't like being followed. Nevertheless, she decided to follow the instructions because she was curious and wanted to see the rabbit's house. It had a sticker on its plate that said, "Eat me." Alice was really hungry by now. She'd even missed lunch, so she decided to eat the cake. As soon as she took one bite, she started growing again. Soon, she would not fit into the house. She could not see the rabbit's gloves anywhere, but grabbed his fan and decided to run out of the house. As soon as she came out, she started shrinking again. "Oh no! What is this? Will I ever be back to my normal size again?" "One of my mushroom makes you grow tall and the other side makes you shrink." Alice turned to see who was talking to her. It was a caterpillar sitting on a mushroom. She quickly ate a piece. He was pointing and came back to her normal size. She thanked him for his help and asked, "How do I get back home? Could you please tell me that?" "That path leads to the Mad Hatter and the other one to the rabbit's home." This time it was a cat that sat in the tree that spoke. Alice thanked him and took the path to the Mad Hatter. She didn't want to meet the rude rabbit again. "I will meet you in the evening at the Queen's Palace."
Halt! To go further, you must answer my question correctly.
"Oh, I love riddles. Please do ask me a question."
Tell me, why is a raven like a writing desk?
But she did not know the answer to the riddle. "Oh, I don't know the answer to your question. Could you tell me why?" The Mad Hatter was taken aback. Never had anyone asked him the answer to his own riddle.
Oh well, I don't know either. We don't know anything here. You can go ahead on the path.
Hence Alice proceeded to the Queen's castle where a game of croquet was on. reasonable. If she didn't like someone, she would instruct her soldiers to be off with his or her heads immediately. Her guards had made a mistake earlier in the day, and so she had turned them into cards for the game. When the queen saw Alice, she instructed her to play with her.
You will play croquet with me, and if I lose, it will be off with the head for you.
Yes, Your Majesty. Alice was very careful. But the queen was terrible at the game. And Alice had to try really hard to lose.
Ha! You lost. If I like, I will have your head for it.
A trumpet sounded far off, and the white rabbit hopped forward.
The royal court is now in session, and you will be tried.
Tried? For what? I haven't even done anything.
You have been accused of stealing heart-shaped tarts from the queen's kitchen. First, you don't know how to play croquet, and then you dare steal tarts from my kitchen? You should be punished. Off with her head.
This is silly. I haven't even stolen anything. I just reached the castle and started playing with the queen. Mad Hatter, the caterpillar, and the Cheshire Cat. They were all looking at her and smiling. What is going on? Alice felt someone tapping her arm. It was her sister.
Wake up, Alice. You fell asleep sitting next to me. It's time for lunch.
What a strange dream I had. I promise I will never complain of being bored while you read. That is such a strange story, Tia. Next time you sit to read, I too will write my own story instead of getting bored. Okay, but I have to be the first one you tell.
So, my dear students, in this video, we saw how the small girl called Alice ended up in the magical world called Wonderland. How she got tricked by the rabbit and led by the other creatures and animals in the Wonderland to the magic castle, and what all happened to her at the end. Now, our lesson is a part of this great story where Alice meets a mouse and other animals with whom she shares her story, how she misses her pet called Diana, a pet cat. In the same way, the mouse shares his story, his sad story about its tail with Alice, even though he was not willing to share, but because of Alice, who really wants to listen his story, he tells her about his tale. Before we go in any further in our lesson, let's discuss about today's video. Just now we saw a video, the whole story of Alice in the Wonderland. I would like to ask you some questions. I would like to give you a task. So, based on the video which you have seen, I want you to complete this task. Dear students, can you recognize this picture? Who is she? Yes, she is the most important character of the whole story. Her name is Alice. So, my dear students, isn't she pretty? Yes, she's very pretty and very innocent and very brave heart too. So, we will today discuss and answer some questions related to the great story of Alice. So, this is our first worksheet about the story. Now, come to the story part. Now, we all know, we have seen in the story where Alice, she sees a rabbit and decides to follow him, and she follows him to the rabbit hole, and accidentally she falls into a rabbit hole, deep down to the rabbit hole. And after that, how her magical adventurous story continued, how she drank that magical potion, how she became small, and how she's ended up into a beautiful garden. And there, whom are the creatures she met? The caterpillar, the cat, and how did she meet the Mad Hatter, and how the magical rabbit behaved with him. We all have seen that story. Now, come to the story part. In this, the first blank sentence is, in the story, Alice meets, whom she met in the story, and she falls down. Where did she fall? You all know. She also. After that, what happened? She fell down. After that, what happened? You all saw the video, so you just have to see the story and then fill in the blanks. Subtopic talks about the personality. Now, personality means, you all know, personality means like what is our behavior, what other people think of us. Okay, that is our personality. Are we rude with other people, or are we kind, or are we cruel? So that talks about our personality. Here in the story, you have seen Alice. Even though the rabbit and all the other animals tricked her, behaved rude with her, even the Queen of Hearts, but still she was very innocent. So, what do you think of Alice? You have to write about her personality. After the first task, now here comes our second and the last task. This task is about how much you have understood the story and how much you have understood the character Alice. Now, here in the worksheet, you can see there are blanks given. So, imagine yourself as Alice and think how you will behave, or how you will face all those adventures faced by Alice when she accidentally falls into that deep hole and enters into a magical world. So, all you have to do is imagine yourself and just write your experience. Just imagine. It is all about your imagination. You are free to write how many lines you want. Just imagine yourself in the place of Alice and write a small paragraph that how you'll face all these things if you are Alice. Students, these are in the new words from our lesson. I want you to learn how to pronounce these new words. So, here, listen them properly. Listen them carefully. I want you to listen them very carefully. The first word is prosecute. I repeat it again. It's prosecute. Means start legal proceedings. I repeat it again. The word is prosecute. It means start legal proceedings. The next word is denial. Again, I repeat it again. The word is denial. It means refusal. It means refusal. The third word is offended. I repeat it again, offended. It means felt insulted. Again, felt insulted. The fourth one, snappishly. The fourth word, snappishly, means angrily. The fourth word, snappishly, means angrily. The last word is melancholy. I repeat it again. The last word is melancholy. It means unhappy. Again, I read out all the words, only the words. I want you to listen to them very carefully. The first word is prosecute. Second is denial. Third, offended. Fourth, snappishly. Fifth one, melancholy. I want you to get familiar with the words. So when you read the lesson, it should not get difficult for you to read the words. So students, we saw the story of Alice in the Wonderland. We saw how she bravely faced all the obstacles, all the adventures, but she was calm throughout the journey. She didn't hurt anyone. She didn't panic even though she cried, but she was strong and brave. So we all love to listen stories, we all know that, but each and every story has a moral. So I would like to ask you, what is the moral of this story? Definitely you must have learned something from this story, because you have so much to learn from this small girl Alice. So this is my opinion, that we should be strong and brave like Alice in all the times. We should not get scared of the problems. We should be brave. We should be kind towards others, and we should give respect. We should give respect to the elders. See, in the story, even though the Queen of the Hearts was very rude, and she even threatened Alice, if she lose the game, she will be off with her head. But Alice, she faced the queen and she did not say anything. Even though she was very scared, she did not oppose or she did not say anything rude like the Queen of Hearts. But instead that she played, and she was very quiet and calm all the way through the game. She was kind with the other animals. She did not even talk anything rude in back or in return when the rabbit was very rude with her. And the most important thing, she was not careful in the beginning, but later she realized that she should be careful of herself. Even though we also do the same thing when we go out with our parents or with elder ones. We usually have the tendency to run here and there. We run here and there. We don't listen to our parents or to the elder ones, and then we get lost somewhere, like Alice, how she got lost in the wonder. We should tell or inform to our parents. We should definitely inform our parents or elders when we are going somewhere. So students, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the task. I want you to read the new words again and again with the correct pronunciation. I want you to go through the video, the story carefully, and I want you to read the worksheets, the tasks which are given to you carefully, and take the help of the story. Tomorrow we will meet again with a fresh topic. We will continue the same lesson but with fresh questions and with fresh minds and brains. Until then, take care.